Welcome to Coffee and Words. I am here with the owner of Pumphrey and Beard, my favorite coffee shop in Middle Tennessee. Welcome back. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
What do you look for in a really good cup of coffee?
So typically in a cup of coffee, what I am looking for is, first and foremost as a roaster, how am I going to make the tasting notes sing that or accentuate them? So I probably would go for a light roasted coffee from an African country, and I would be looking for something that was like really light in body and then a little bit citrusy, a little bit floral, maybe with a tea tasting note. Those are like my favorites. So that is what I would be looking for in a great cup of coffee.
Wow, so I've never thought about any of that before. That's almost a foreign language to me. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot today.
Yeah.
What would you say are the do's and don'ts of coffee making?
Don't put cream in your coffee. Everyone should just cut that out.
No, you mean I can't have my fancy, swirly tulip on my coffee?
Yeah. So do's and don'ts of coffee. I say don't over roast your coffee. I think as a culture we really need to get away from over roasted coffee where none of the notes are accentuated. You're just getting those darker tasting notes. Do's of coffee. Enjoy your coffee, I say technically the way you want to enjoy it, but I always kind of treat it like I grew up with neighbors that were Italian, and they would make fantastic food, and you better not salt or season it before you try it. So try your coffee before you season it or, zhuzh it up however you want
Load it with sugar.
Yeah.
Well, I'm learning a lot from you about this and the roasting part of it, because there are natural flavor notes in the coffee that comes out in the roasting process, and we don't have to just brew it bold and dark and heavily roasted.
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot about that. And what are some of those notes that come out from the different regions?
So you've got your three major regions. There's Africa, South America, and Indonesia. And typically when you think Indonesian coffees, you think volcanic soil, high altitude, and you get more of those sultry or tasting notes, or that's what they tend to lean towards. Africa, you're definitely, you can go either way. Like there are regions that are volcanic and there are regions that aren't, and they lend themselves to be light and bright and very floral, and there are a lot of coffees that you can roast on the medium to dark side that are from Africa, but I really feel that most of the coffee from that region lends itself to lighter roasts. And then with South America, it's like the most diverse climate. So you have coffees from all over that can be roasted light to sultry to dark. When I think of one of my favorite places, we carry a honeyed Costa Rican, and I like to bring that in right at a medium roast to accentuate all those sweet notes and the caramelization in the coffee. And then then I think about a Peruvian coffee that we are actually going to taste in a little while, and that is light roasted, and the tasting notes of that are like prune and floral. So it's kind of all over the board.
Yeah, so you don't have to over roast your coffee to get the flavor out of it. You're actually going to do the opposite. You're going to kill some of those natural or overshadow those natural
flavors. You can. So, I don't know, there's a lot of back and forth in the community about, dark versus light versus medium and all of that. And really it's up to the individual how they want to roast it, what style they're roasting it, and then also what their customer base is. And I just believe it really taking a look at the terroir of the region that the coffee came from, and then lending the roasting to accentuate its tasting notes instead of trying to force something out of it.
Right. I feel like I need to go back and start over with coffee, because I feel like I've gotten into a dark roasted rut where I'm doing a lot of dark roast because I want that bold, smack me in the face flavor. but I've not really explored the things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to kind of reintroduce myself to coffee.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I if like you were a customer and you said that to me, I would immediately like recommend our Sumatran. It's a medium roast. It's a little bit on the darker side of a medium, but its tasting notes lend to give you that big bold flavor you're looking for of molasses, green pepper, stone fruit. I kind of call it the Cabernet of coffees. It's almost chewy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, let's talk about tea for a minute.
Yeah.
For our non-coffee drinkers.
Yeah.
And so what are some of your favorite teas that you sell here? And tell me, like, the difference between coffee and tea making, because tea's a little bit different.
Yeah, tea's a lot different. So with tea, you're literally taking a raw plant and plucking it and, drying it and then consuming it at a later date. The shelf life of tea is much longer. We have 33 premium quality loose leaf teas from Rishi here, and I specifically chose to carry Rishi because I like how traceable the tea is. I'm really trying as someone in small business to vote with my dollar, and knowing exactly where my tea comes from and, what its quality is kind of everything. So some of my favorite teas that we have a jasmine pearl here, currently out of it, but it's very popular, and that's a hand-rolled green tea, but it kind of lends itself to being in between a white and a green. So, yeah, and then with white peony, I love white teas. We have a oolong that's really, really nice, and then we have some rooibos, which are in the red category.
Okay, say that for me, because I am pronouncing it incorrectly. What is the pronunciation? Rooibos. Okay, I say rooibos, which I know.
I mean,
that's not right.
Tomato.
Okay, yeah. I really like a rooibos chai tea, so that's
very cool.
Okay, rooibos. We'll all practice that.
We do have some chais here. I actually locally source my chai in Nashville from Chaiwala. They do a spicier chai as opposed to a sweeter chai. I think with Third Street chais, they tend to come off a little bit sweeter, and that's what kind of mainstream culture is used to, because that's what you can get at like Starbucks or any place that would offer you a chai tea concentrate. But we tend to get the spicier one from a local producer of it, and it has like just way more ginger notes.
Now you're talking my language.
Yeah.
I love that.
We also have a ton of herbal teas that we carry. We have a chamomile medley. We really tried to carry a couple things that were non-caffeinated, that had a lot of, we have like a turmeric ginger and things like that. Just things that like help open up those capillaries and get your blood flowing, but aren't going to like hurt you with the caffeinated side of it.
Right.
And then of course we've got like China Breakfast Black, we've got our Earl Greys, we have a really lovely lavender Earl Grey.
That's my favorite here.
Yes.
Love that one.
With the London fog. Oh
yes. Oh yes. It's perfection.
A little bit of honey. But so those are just a couple of what we have to offer here. Our Mushroom Hero, everybody's on that kick this year. I
have not tried it.
You gotta like composty notes.
Okay.
That's a thing.
I'll try anything just about once, so.
It's alright. It's just more of a meal, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like one day I was like trying to force myself to have some, and I just had this like odd thought to add it to oatmeal.
Okay.
And it was how I was able to get it down. But it is very like composty, earthy, mossy. You just got to be into that.
All right. Well.
Almost like soup.
Okay, tea soup.
Yeah, tea soup.
All right, I'm down for that. Well, how important is water temperature in tea and coffee brewing?
Both are really significant. As far as not over or under steeping. So you really, like whatever the directions that come with your tea are, you really want to follow those. We generally steep it's really based upon our boiler and our coffee machine, which I would love to believe is super accurate, but at this point in its life, it's probably a little bit off. So we're hitting anywhere between like 145 to 165. And then, you know, with our lattes and stuff, we steep everything to, like, our desired temperature, which is I won't do anything over 165 because it'll scald.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to do a coffee tasting with you.
Yes.
So I'll let you walk me through all of the different coffees.
Okay, cool.
All right, thank you. Amanda, I am super excited about trying some coffee, and you're going to walk me through the right way to do this.
Yes. So
we have Kelly with us.
Yes, here I am.
Hi, Kelly.
She's our victim today.
We're scared.
So, okay. So, this is a very basic entry-level coffee tasting that we are going to do today. There's a lot of different ways, techniques, technical things you can do with it or not do with it. But to start off with and to introduce you with it, this is where we're going to start. So, in the coffee industry, one of the reasons that a coffee cupping is done is to find out, you know, is this how you want to roast the coffee? Is the coffee mallard? You know, did you get the premium quality coffee that you wanted when it was picked? It's really just quality control and then weeding out where you want to go with your roast. So, with that being said, typically, you know, you weigh out your coffee, you put it in your cups, you steep your water, you let your coffee and your water steep for about 4 minutes, and then you come and you break the crust and you let all the grinds kind of settle to the bottom, and then you are going to come through with your spoons, and essentially you are going to break that crust, get a little bit on it like that, and then
Right.
and then typically you would have a little piece of paper and you would describe exactly what you're tasting. So you are in Sumatra world.
Okay.
I am in Peruvian world, and you are in Papua New Guinea.
All right.
So I'm having a love affair with Indonesia at the moment, so that is why there are two of those represented and no African. That and my African coffee is sitting in South Africa somewhere.
Okay.
At the moment. But yeah, you'll just go through and try all these, and then
Okay.
you'll just briefly kind of describe what you're tasting in those. And the group of 3 is all the same coffee, so you'll have to
Oh, okay.
spread out. And then you can also use...
Gotcha. I thought it was one of you. Okay.
I thought it was too.
Okay,
You can also
perfect. Good to
use
know.
your roasted coffee to smell and pick
So
up
you'll
some
want to
of
go to
your
that one right
aroma.
there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's really normal to like get all the way in the coffee when you're smelling it and tasting it, so that you get all the sensories. It's like, I think it's like 90% of coffee is smell, and 5% are 1 in 5 people are bitter blind, and so
I
you
really like that one.
Yeah, you really
This
just want to
one is
use all your
awesome.
factories and not just your smell to taste the things. And it's like salty right up front, and then forget what the side tasting notes are. But
Which one is this one?
This
where
one,
did you pull it from?
this
The
one I
middle.
pulled in the
The
middle.
middle. This is the Peruvian. It's a light roast.
Peruvian. Oh.
Yes.
Okay, you said this is a light roast.
Yes.
So you know me and how I'm all, oh, it has to be dark roast. Well, I'm proving myself wrong, or you're proving me
Yes.
wrong here, because this is fabulous, and I love this.
I really like that one.
It can be really, really bold, and the concentration on this is going to be a little bit heavier. So when you brew it in a drip situation or something like that, it's not going to be as concentrated as this, but definitely. And then, like, in between things, use your seltzer water and pellet
Oh
cleanse.
yes, hang on. All right.
All of that, so that you're really tasting.
You have to
what-
school us. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here.
I really like this one.
I do too.
That's this one?
Yep, it's Peru, South America.
All right, so let's try this
I like
one.
that a lot.
Oh, this is my personal favorite, the Sumatran, but I'm also a cab drinker.
Oh, that's got kind of a, is that caramelly?
Yeah, so that one, you should be getting like stone fruit, a little bit of like dark cherries, a little bit of molasses, and then it has like a green pepper finish to it.
This one was by far my favorite. I think the Sumatra would be my favorite, and the Peruvian is a very close second.
Yes. And our Papua New Guinea is my most even-keeled thing on the menu at the moment, and it is what we use for our espresso and our cold brew. And typically I use a Tanzanian for both, but it's not available through my supplier year-round like I would prefer, but that's because we source from really small farmers. So that is what is in South Africa that I'm waiting on.
Wonderful. And I would encourage everyone to watch the previous episodes. This is part 2 of part 1, and you do go into sustainability and ethical sourcing and helping small communities and small farmers and things like that, which is wonderful. So
yes, that is what we're here for. So yeah, you ladies are welcome to get in there and enjoy. And if you like any of these, I can definitely bag those ones up for you. And
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you
for
Amanda.
participating.
I feel enlightened. Do you have any final words on coffee, Amanda? What can you leave us with?
I would just encourage people to really visit your local roasters, get to know the people in your community that are making coffee locally, and maybe get away from chain brands. Yes, that would be helpful.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
And then tell us what you would like the community or our viewers to know about Pumphrey and Beard, upcoming activities and things that you guys are doing here.
Absolutely. So we're really excited. This year we are going to go through our Department of Agriculture certification, which means we can officially launch whole bean and cold brew and canned coffee into retail. And we look forward to doing that and starting to serve restaurants and grocery stores in Middle Tennessee. That'll be a big one for us. We're currently looking for a second location, so that's exciting. I'm really hoping to do something out in the Hickman County area, either that or White Bluff.
Nice.
And then most immediately we have our Jazzy Soiree, which is a Valentine's Day event. It's actually on Valentine's Day this year, and pretty much it's a cocktail attire. It's going to be a 4-course plated meal with a private chef. We're going to have 3 45-minute sets of jazz, like a step and repeat, a photographer on site, and we're really excited about it. I'm hoping to do like 4 events like this a year, and really just try to offer Dixon a different style of event.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you guys are doing this. It gives us something different that we haven't had a lot of in the community. So, well, thank you again, Amanda. I appreciate you so much.
Thank
this
you
has
for
been
having me.
fun,
Yes.
and you have changed my view of coffee. So I'm reinventing my love of coffee. Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you.
All right, well, I look forward to talking to you again.
Yes.
And until then, we're just going to enjoy coffee.
Yes. All the coffee.